Part 2 of the fan perspective, week 6 predictions. The 4 o'clock games, we have the Bills at the Cardinals, and this is a hard game to predict. I personally want to go with the Cardinals. However, I liked the moves the Bills made in the offseason. They've got a very strong team over there. It's definitely not equating to wins, and it's hard to know where to put the blame. Is it injuries? Is it the coaching staff? Is it the defense not playing up to their potential? It's hard to say. Whereas the Cardinals, they've been surprising everyone with their strong play this year. I think I'll go with the Cardinals just because they are playing in Arizona. But I'm not going to be shocked if the Bills do come back and win it. Then we have the Patriots at the Seahawks. Seahawks have played surprisingly well this year. Patriots, surprisingly don't seem like they're quite themselves. However, let's look at it this way. They have 13 injuries. And there are 13 players on the injury report right now. And they have played some pretty decent teams. The teams that they lost to the Ravens, who almost went to the Super Bowl last season. They lost to the Cardinals, who were undefeated at the time. The Patriots are still a good team in the class of that division, and I think you have to give them the win here. Then you have the Giants at the 49ers, the game that everyone is talking about, and I think I definitely have to go with the 49ers here. Yes, the Giants beat them last year in the playoffs, but that was the playoffs. The Giants have always played much better in the playoffs than they do during the regular season. And it doesn't look like Hakeem Nicks is going to be returning yet. He wants to, but he said he'd be out there in week 1. He barely did anything. And then they don't have Mario Manningham now. He's over there with the 49ers. It's just the Giants I think the Giants, they rely so much on their running attack, and Eli is showing that he can air it out, especially with a guy like Cruz to throw to. But the 49ers have arguably the toughest defense in the league, and I think that they are going to do enough on defense to shut the Giants down to where the San Francisco offense can pretty much run wild over the Giants defense. San Francisco has a pretty damn tough running attack, and the Giants are not a run-stopping defense. And so I've got to go with the 49ers here. Then you have the Vikings at the Redskins, and that's a very tough one to pick. You can go either way here. I want to say the Vikings because they've got a stronger defense. Redskins have been playing well all year, but it hasn't equated to wins. RG3 has been playing surprisingly well, and he had a concussion last week. Should be able to go this week though, and it looks like Pierre Garçon might be able to play this week. They're saying that probably a game time decision. I like the Vikings here. Ponder has played very well. He stepped up in his second year. AP is looking like AP. They've still got Jared Allen on the other side of the ball. I have to go with the Vikings here. And then Sunday night you have the Packers at the Texans. I was gonna say definitely Texans last week, but Brian Cushing is injured, and ACL injury out for the year. That is a huge loss, and it could be enough to get the Packers the win. However, I think I still have to go with the Texans here just because, the Packers, they're dealing with a lot of injuries themselves. Cedric Benson out, Jermichael Finley out, and, they just haven't been themselves this season, especially against some of the tougher teams and especially against some of the weaker teams. You saw how the Packers got beat by the 49ers, who are a very similar team to the Texans. And you saw last week how they let the Colts come back in it. And it's just, I just don't trust the Packers right now. The Texans, though, they're undefeated for a reason. I would not be shocked to see an upset, but I'm going with the Texans. And then last but not least, you have the Broncos at the Chargers. Chargers started undefeated and then slid, but they've been sliding recently. Whereas the Broncos, I think they're playing they're playing the best football that they have right now, and they're still improving. You know, Peyton's still getting used to that offense, and that offense is still getting used to Peyton. And it's just, I think I just have to go with the Broncos here. I mean, Peyton Manning on Monday Night Football. It's hard to bet against that.